Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Is this DJ Remedy?
It sure is.
Wicked.
I
Awesome.
had a nickel every time I heard that. No.
Thank you so much for taking the time to chat to my listeners. This is DJ Remedy, so thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. You good.
Before we get started, I gotta say I don't know much about you, so some of my questions are gonna be to kind of get to know you. First, and if I ask anything that you don't feel comfortable answering, please feel free to say next question.
Cool.
Awesome. Are you a TV person? If so, what was the last show you were watching?
My TV person. Yeah. Definitely, yeah. I love to watch a good show. The last show I was watching is a little embarrassing to admit, unfortunately, was watching The Bachelor. But, yeah. Gotta be honest. Yeah, I love TV.
Do you like the reality shows like Bachelor, Survivor, those kinds of shows? Or just...
You know what? I really don't. But there's something about The Bachelor, and it's just such a train wreck that you have to watch it.
That's it. Honestly, I gotta say I've never gotten into any of the... Well, you know what? There used to be a show called Treasure Island. What was it called? Paradise Island. That's what it was.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Do you remember
I
that?
remember that. Thank you.
And that was over 10 years ago now. But I remember, yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it like you put a bunch of singles on an island, or not singles, a couple? Or am I thinking of the wrong one?
Okay, there was the second one was with couples, and they split the couples apart and to see if they would be tempted.
Yes.
That was Temptation
Yes.
Island. But then the one before it was
right.
Paradise, which was, like you say, singles to see if they would, and they did. Like there was this one guy, Dave. I'll never forget Dave because he was such a loser, and you rooted for him though. And then there was this one girl that just used him, and you fucking hated her. But that's...
You think you get way too invested in these people, right? And you're like, they're not really, this isn't even really real. It's all really just fabricated in the end.
Next thing you'll be saying the Easter Bunny ain't real. But, all right.
I know, I'm sorry to have to tell you the hard truth.
Okay, aside from we'll get into the jungle drum and bass stuff in a couple questions, but in your personal life, what type of music do you like to listen to? Like, for example, what was the last song you listened to before we spoke?
Whoa, earlier today, what was I listening to? Today I had like some disco on. I was listening to Donna Summers, a little bit of Bee Gees going. Last tune, no, I couldn't tell you. I had a playlist going at work.
No, those are two great. You know what? Whenever I hear Donna Summers, I think of the Full Monty. You remember
Right?
when they're in line and they're doing the dance to Hot Stuff or whatever, waiting for some hot stuff.
I love disco, but I also super love listening to like R&B, like old R&B, like 90s R&B, and like Motown and like soul. Love that shit too. It's my jam.
Yeah, no, I'm down with that. I loved it. Remember In Vogue? Gotta love some In Vogue.
Oh wow, and Vogue, bringing it back. Yeah, good shit.
Good stuff,
Good
man.
shit.
Um,
For sure.
okay, so let's get into the rave, if you will. Can you describe your first rave experience? Do you remember it?
Oh yeah, definitely remember it. My first rave experience, it was an outdoor rave, under a bridge, I think, or like in a tunnel near Leslie and the 401. And so we literally just got a cab to drop us off like on the side of the highway pretty much, and followed this like hand-drawn map that we were sent, and just followed like what we thought was music, and we found it. It was pretty, I remember being like a lot of like hard steps, heavy hardcore. I don't really remember hearing any jungle that first rave. So, it was super fun. It was super, like, I loved the adventure of, like, trying to find it. Like, being in the dark and, like, no idea where you're going, but, like, hearing bass and knowing you're going the right way. Like, something about that was, like, super exciting to me. Like, it felt like I was, like, in on something that, like, you know, wasn't just really available to people. You know, it was an invite-only kind of party to tell you where it was. So, I just thought it was exciting. I think I was, like, 17.
What year?
Definitely, like,
What year are we talking? How long ago was this?
that would have been like 11 years ago, 12 years ago. I'm turning 29 this year, so.
So still, it was a post-millennium. Well, I miss those. I was talking to somebody recently about going down to the college in Spadina 7-Eleven, and we would have what they called map it parties or map parties, and there'd be a
Yeah.
guy there with maps, and he'd hand them to you on a piece of paper, and kind of what you're describing.
Yeah.
You'd show up at an area and you'd start listening for the sound. It's like, okay, it's this way, and yeah, it's there's something neat. You feel like you're a part of a community because you get there and it's like we were all invited, therefore we're a part of something, right? You feel
Yeah.
exclusive.
Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, and to be honest, I think a lot of guys are trying to do that. Promoters today, the issue is liabilities, obviously, especially with fentanyl being as
Uh-huh.
right rampant. I was talking about this with people at Prophecy on Sunday, saying, it's easier when you rent a club because you can pass the liability onto the club owner and their insurance. So, God forbid something does happen, at least you're covered under them if you do it right. But if you go 100% independent and you do one of these, let's call it a backyard party kind of thing, you're taking all those liabilities, and God forbid somebody should get hurt. It's just way higher risk right now. So it's tough to do all ages. It's tough to do these types of fun parties because of what's occurring. But hopefully we can get back to it, because I promise you, if I ever throw one, you're going to be spinning at it. We're going to do it.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I love the more renegade style parties. You're right. They have like this much deeper soul and sense of community. I feel like with these club parties, like, I don't know, we lose some of that. I mean, it's still there. I'm not trying to be negative, but you're right. Like, you had to, and plus, when people throw these on their own, like, they are responsible for everything. Like, so much more heart and soul goes into it, and like, you have to really want to throw that party to do it, Whereas sometimes club owners make it so easy. All you got to do is book a couple DJs, and the night goes home.
Well, and you know what? If guys, I get what you're saying, and you could do that. However, promoters who appease to their crowds understand stock systems don't do well with drum and bass. And if you're going to even rent a club, you should bring in your own sound system. Bring in your own speakers, at least. Bring in your own highs. Bring in your own monitors. There's no reason to work with a stock system. Our music isn't built for that. But with that, I would love to see the Renegade. I got to shout out Biggs, because DJ Biggs is always carrying a generator and ready to pop up a stage anywhere he is.
Yeah, that is true. He got played on many of his stages.
There you go. And you know what? Guys like him keep doing what they're doing, and hopefully we will see the Renegade parties with, I don't know what to call it, a little bit of a roar effect, as we used to say.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, you kind of led me into my next question by saying your first experience was more happy hardcore, not much drum and bass. When did you first hear drum and bass?
Oh my God. So one of my best friends from kindergarten was getting really heavy in drum and bass. I remember he showed me a mix in the car. And I was like, all right, it sounds okay, like, whatever. There's a lot of yelling happening. I think it was like an old, like, Funsta mix or like something crazy old, like, pretty much came from a cave, like, sounded like shit. So I didn't really, like, heard it, but I didn't really hear it. You know what I'm saying? And then I remember going to Timeless one night. Still wasn't meant to. We keep that on the deal. And I was like, oh, okay. It was like Rocket John Gone. I was like, yeah, I like this. Like, this sounds good. Like, I like the way it makes my body feel. Like, the speakers in there, like, to the side of the club, like, don't fuck the time sound. Like, it's great, right? Like, you see everybody with speakers and you're having a good time. But I think the first time I truly, like, heard it and decided that, like, that's where I was going to sign my life over, like, I was chosen, like, this is it for me, was, like, I think it was at the dock. I think it was a Temple of Doom party. Like, it was forever ago. And I just remember, like, staying till the lights came on and not barely dancing, but, like, being super observant and kind of just standing there with my mouth open. I was just so blown away by, like, what it was very, very clearly remember.
Well, was there something about the sound of drum and bass that grew you? I guess, like, you heard happy hardcore, you didn't become DJ Remedy, the happy hardcore DJ. You became a drum and bass jungle DJ. So what was it about drum and bass that drew you to it more than?
I've always loved dance music, don't get me wrong. I've been in the house my whole life. But drum and bass, I just love the sheer, like, the weight of it and the vibration of it. and the kind of the flow to it. I don't know. It's so hard to put your finger on it when people ask you. You know what I mean? But it's genuinely like just the way it makes my body and my mind feel. Like it's so hard to control, but it gives me goosebumps. And it's just to me, it's almost like an intuitive movement. The way that the rhythm works, it just works with my body and it works with my brain, and I just get it, and I'm like lost in it. I love the way it makes my body shake. Like I'm a bass slut. Like I love bass. Like more bass than that. So any bass music really is where my heart is at. But something about drum and bass is just so soulful, and it can go from like beautiful and melodic and making you cry to literally like making you drink and want to punch people all in. It's so fucking grimy and heavy, and like it just hypes you up. And I love the versatility of it. I think I feel like most genres become kind of repetitive sometimes, and drum and bass, like literally, as long as you're going across the spectrum, you're never going to get bored. There's something for everyone in there. I think that's probably why I stuck to it so much.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you very, very profoundly. It's a motley of sound. When I try to describe how to introduce it to people, I say if somebody doesn't like tomatoes, you don't give them a raw tomato and tell them to bite into it. You give them maybe some ketchup, and once they like the ketchup,
right?
you're like, oh yeah, you like ketchup? Okay, well that has tomato in it. Here, try some of this, you know. And you just slowly, and before you know it, you've got them biting into raw tomatoes. But that's what I find with drum and bass heads. It's like everybody's a drum and bass head. What do you like? You like R&B? Let me play you some liquid funk. And before you know it, I'm gonna have you mashing to jump up. Just give me like 3 weeks. Give me 3 weeks, and we're gonna convert you to this music.
So true.
Okay, well with that, what kind of music can we expect? Like if I throw on a DJ Remedy set right now, what am I gonna hear?
Like a recent mix?
Oh, it's okay. There's evolutions. Well, let's talk. You know what? Let's talk about your most recent mix with Funsta. You did a set with MC Funsta on Prophecy, if I'm not mistaken, right?
True. So that was a Spectre Soul promotion mix. That was for the party when he came here to town to play at Nest. I had just grabbed his new album, and so I was really trying to showcase a lot of like my favorite songs from him. So it's definitely a much more like liquid influence, a little steppy, but definitely roller, like rolling bass the whole way through. I think my live sets are a little bit different. I'm super high energy. I love like good neuro funk, a good like techy, like heavy hitting, high snare kind of sound. And I feel like the energy of my studio mix is a little bit more than that. Like it's just more for listening. It's more for picking up on the little things and like hearing the details. Whereas why I just want to like bring that energy and kind of like go with the flow as to what people are giving me. You know, like feeding off what they're feeling.
Yeah, and you kind of summed up a little bit of it by saying you're a bass slut, right? So,
you know, exactly. It's got to have a good bass line. And I'm a sucker for a fucking good vocal. Like, I love a good soulful, like, jazz vocal. I'm really heavy into the vocals. I'm happy when I can get two songs to talk to each other. You know what I mean? Like, oh, happy for it.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Okay, with that, do you happen to produce it all?
I don't. Not yet. Working on it, but it's, you know, I never really had the attention span to produce. Like that's why I love DJing. So it's all my energy level. You know what I mean? So it's been hard for me to sit back and really commit to the time it takes to make a tune, but I'm working on it.
Well, that's yeah, and to be honest, I can empathize with the monotony of production. I can't stand sitting in a studio, especially when you see the guys pull up that board where they've got what looks like to me Minesweeper or whatever, the little blocks, and they click the block and there's like 50 layers inside it, and they start pulling it. I'm like, fuck this, make the song. I'll be back.
I don't even know where to start with that shit.
Well, no,
it's hard. But I definitely do. I mean, it's definitely on my list of things I need to accomplish because I just want to know. I want to look out at a crowd one night and see everybody dancing to something that I've been working on. You know, I just feel like that's going to be where I evolve. Like even just like on my own spiritual journey with DJing. You know, like where I'll push myself. It'll be a whole thing. But for now, I'm just really like owning the DJ thing and getting a feel for what that means.
Well, you're making a great name for yourself, and yeah, no, you're taking the you're taking the right channels. I think you should keep doing what you're doing, and the production thing. If you want to do it, you'll do it. For now, just keep making the crowds dance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just
I
a
want
couple,
people to have fun.
and I'm sure they will. Just a couple questions for you. What can we expect from you in the near future? Where can we see you? Where can I hear you?
March 17th, I'm going to be playing the Last Planet headquarters anniversary party, so that should be good. More recently, I'll be playing on Sunday with Five from the UK. He's here on this Canada tour. We're going to be playing at church, so I'm going to be opening for him. And that's all I got right now. Working on some festival things for the summertime now, but I can't really say anything just yet.
Well, that's fine. But and how about if I want to go listen to your set, like that Funsta set that we were just talking about? Where can I hear that?
Yeah, well, it's up on my SoundCloud, it's up on Mixcloud. I've got 2 other mixes coming in the next couple weeks, too. There's going to be some house that I'm releasing. It was a live house set that I did at Edith Hall a few weeks ago, and then I'm considering releasing my New Year's live set as well. That was a dope party. Were you there?
No.
It was crazy.
I was not. You know where I was on New Year's Eve? I was underneath my covers with like 4 heating pads on.
So, were you not feeling good?
I was feeling fine. I was feeling like I was actually cold watching the New Year's celebrations on TV. That's how cold it was on New Year's.
Oh, it was really cold.
It was, and honestly, it was my first year in my entire life staying inside on New Year's. Not going to a drum and bass party, but just staying in totally. And I guess, what were you at the warehouse party with everyone that was there?
Hell yeah, of course, yeah, no, that's exactly what I was saying.
That was, from what I heard, it was a great thing. I'm sorry I missed it. Big ups to Brown and Marcus and Drew and everyone involved with the Massive and the Compound stuff. It's awesome, really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Massively.
Okay, last question for you. If you could put 5 items into a vault that would encapsulate our rave community, so it doesn't have to be drum and bass, the entire rave community, what would those 5 items be?
Oh my god, 5 items. That's tough. Okay. That's so hard. Oh my god. I'm thinking this. I'm way overthinking this. It means a lot.
Do you want me to give? Okay, okay, you're overthinking. So you have so many things that you don't know what to say. I'll get. Okay, take your time.
Oh my god, so many. Okay, our rave community. What would I put in there? Oh god, definitely a good pair of running shoes. Like thick kicks that you can dance in. Definitely essential. Good. Everybody needs a good glow stick every once in their life. You may get over it, but you need to bring a glow stick to a party at least once. It's like a rite of passage, don't you think?
You're the first. Hold on. Sorry to cut you off, but you're the first glow stick, and that amazes me. Like I didn't even think about it, but nobody has mentioned a glow stick yet. That's.
I mean, it's not practical anymore, but I feel like everyone brought one at some point. You need to just admit it.
You know what? Here's the thing. I would say it's practical to those that are still enjoying that recreational aspect of the rave, if you will. But if you're trying to mash out, like honestly, listening to you describe what kind of music you play, I picture mosh pit rather than dance floor, and I can't imagine somebody bringing a glow stick into the mix. It'd be like, what are you doing?
Get the fuck out of here! Yeah, it's definitely not in a drum and bass scene anymore.
But okay, sorry. So we've got 2. We've got the glow stick, and we've got what was the first item you said? Shoes, running
definitely
shoes.
Also a towel. Do you remember when Sons used to bring fucking towels to parties because you'd all be dancing so hard that you had to have a towel?
The towel, and you would start off white and finish whatever color you were perspirating that day, and mixed with your shirt color and whatever else for some reason. It would. I remember people. You go with a white towel, come up with a pinky yellow one.
Oh, the rave juice, man! The rave juice is real.
You remember when you dump? Okay. Did you ever dump water on the floor to make it so you could dance better?
Yes.
Yes.
The next thing I was gonna say water bottle, but I feel like that's so boring. Definitely need to put in like a mixtape of some sort. Do you remember at raves when like the DJs used to hand out like a burnt CD with like a flyer on it to the next party? love that shit. Guerrilla marketing, you know, like not the smartest.
No, it's a I used to do that myself, but we would do radio promos down at. I remember flyering, and to be honest, I remember Mr. Brown coming with people just to get them to watch me flyer because I had like a whole shtick, like I'd kick a rhyme, you know, like I'm not going to imitate anything I do right now, but I would be standing outside the docks, let's say at 3 o'clock in the morning, just rapping away, if you will, trying to get people to come to our next party. And in the flyer, it would be a flyer, a CD, and a promo for the radio. And
there you go.
Yeah,
you know what's up.
Well, now the funny thing is, I was gonna throw a party a little while ago, and Brown, I said, "Who are we gonna get to do flyers and stuff?" And Brown laughed. He's like, "You don't do flyers anymore, man. Nobody fucking hands out flyers. It's all on the internet now."
True.
Like that sucks. I want flyers. Yeah, I want to hang them on my wall. I can't hang the internet on my wall. Like.
Yeah, that is the only downside.
Gotta bring the flyers. But okay, what was your favorite mixtape? Do you have one specific that you'd put in there?
Oh, not anymore. Like recently, who am I listening to?
No, not necessarily. If we were to throw, like for me, my classic mixtape that would go in a vault is Mach 1, Kenny Ken and Hyper D.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I could say the classic, like, Andy C. Nightlife. I don't know. I would put something, like, a little different. Like, I'm always obsessed with, like, a good Lensman mix that he does with, like, Dan Lenzo or, like, Rhea. Something a little bit more, like, I'd throw that in there.
It's funny. I was going to say feminine. Something a little bit more feminine.
Oh, yeah. Yes and no. Yeah, I guess so. You could say that. I guess.
Okay, what would the fifth and final item be? Make sure this is a big one. Final one.
Oh my god. Can you put a hug in a box?
A hug?
Could you put a hug? No.
A hug. Okay. No, you can put a hug. I'm gonna go ahead. Put your hug in. But remember, that's a sweaty raver hug.
Christine is so like embracing like that. Like it really is. Like it's one of the most accepting places I've ever been, and a lot of scenes or quote unquote culture, whatever, isn't like that. And I feel like that's a huge part of what we do. Like it's being open and accepting, and like your little race family is there for you.
Yeah, we always will be. And that's the thing that attracted me to drum and bass at first was the family, not the music. I'll keep saying that. It's more than a music; it's a way of life. Jungle drum and bass. You know, you can listen to any other music really, and go to the concerts or the festivals and see different faces all the time. Whereas jungle, the community, we're less than a degree of separation with amongst each other. Like even you,
Right.
I'm sure we have hundreds of mutual friends, yet you and I have never met. And
Or we've met and we forgot, because that's also possible.
definitely possible. But I hope I get to I hope I get to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to chat.
Sure.
I know you're busy.
Anytime.
Awesome.
No, not at all. No problem. I'll make time for drum and bass any day. I was
That's-
surprised you didn't ask me when I started spinning. Everyone else does. How long have you been playing for?
Well, and you know what? I'm trying. When it comes to my I'm an oblivious ignoramus right now. I'm out of touch. I don't know what's going on. Even once again, I was gonna do a party, and who I wanted to book, people kind of laughed. They're like, "Dude, it's not 2002. You can't bring those names in." like, yeah, but I really want to see them. Okay, bring them in, and you want to see them. Nobody will come. Do that. And I'm like, so I got to get in touch. And to my listeners, if there's somebody you think I should talk to, let me know. If you are somebody I should talk to, tell me. And for yourself, the way I came across you was your recent mix. I was very impressed, and I was like, I want to.
You liked it?
I did. Yes, I liked it. And I suggest anyone else, because it's not just you on the tables, it's Funsta on the mic, and he's grown so much. If you listen to a Funsta set from, I don't know, 2000, 99, 2000, and then listen to him again in like 2009, and it's like, wow, he's really changed his style. And then today, you know, people talk about Skibba D being the only Skibba D, and he is. He's the only one who does what Skibba does. But Funsta has really taken that same style and made his own little fun, and he really is fun to listen to. Like if you listen to his lyrics and what he's talking about and how he says it, it's fun. And yeah, it was wicked set.
It's very versatile. I really appreciated and admired the way that he worked with the style I had in mind. You know, because that, he really he hosted it really graciously. That's all I'll say. I think he did a really great job.
He complimented you well. Exactly. But
Yeah, and I was kind of starstruck. I was like, is this happening? Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And he's a very nice person too. I've met him numerous.
Yeah, for sure. Super down to earth dude.
Very. To be honest, the first time I met him, I was like, "This dork." That was the first thing and I was just joking with him, of course. But yeah, and then he just dusted the microphone. I had never heard him before, right? It was just, who is this guy, right? And then he got on the microphone, and it was awesome. And then I went through and started listening to his stuff, and I was like, because he goes back way. He's a pioneer in the scene. It's just like I say, there was a period there where you didn't hear him from like, he was out in like 97, 98, 99, 2000. Then he like disappears.
Right.
And then he pops back up. And it's like the guy he popped back up as was this new dusts the microphone, like I say, more like a skibba. He, at first, in my opinion, if you know MCs, he was more like a 5-0 or a Moose or an EA or a Trigger. And then there was him. But then he came back and he was more like a Dead or a Skibba or a Shabba. He was a chatter. He was a rapper. And he was good. But anyways, I'm going to let you go. I know you have a busy night ahead of you. So thank you. Thank you for taking the time. And when you see this, I don't know if you've seen any of the videos, but I'm in a bit of a primitive setup right now. So when I get a better setup, I'd like to have you come back and we'll chat again if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, man. Whatever I can do. Just reach out, okay?
Awesome. All right. You have a good night, Remedy.
You too, darling. Bye.
Right, take care. All right, there she is, DJ Remedy. Thank you once again. I screw this up every time. What is it? Is it this? No? There it is. There it is. I got it. Yeah, man. See, I'm never going to get good at that. But anyways, thank you, DJ Remedy, for taking the time to chat. Guys, check out her mix. I'm going to put her SoundCloud and other stuff down below. So check the links, listen to her stuff, look her up on Facebook. And till next time, as always, peace out.